If hosts want to earn a lot of money, they have to deceive their customers, like many political parties.
Meshida jokes about Japan.
Recently, the number of young female Japanese night entertainers aged between 18 to early 20s has been increasing. It says that most of them are Hosugurui or crazy about host clubs. Host clubs puts them in debt and then makes them work in the night entertainment industry to repay their debts. It's exactly the same as a student loan. Today, I'll talk about why some young Japanese women become Hosugurui and work in the night industry.
Meshida.
Hey guys, it's Meshida. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm a comedian and I introduce funny Japanese culture. If you are interested in that, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and please check out my Patreon page too. And now I'm organizing my solo stand-up comedy show in Tokyo. If you are interested in that, please check out the link below. So, see you in Tokyo.
Meshida.
A host club is a place where good-looking men entertain women while they are drinking. The most famous place for host clubs is Kabukicho in Shinjuku, Tokyo. It says that there are almost 300 host clubs, 30% of all the host clubs in Japan, and there are 8,000 hosts in Kabukicho. Of course, there are some good hosts who worry about their customers' financial status. But I think that those hosts only make up about 5% of all. The other 95% of hosts try to get as much money from women as possible. To do this, they convince women to get as much money from men as possible. Even though host clubs have many problems, the Japanese mass media shows hosts and host clubs with a positive image. For example, having a famous host teach viewers how to make women fall in love. And they made a drama about handsome hosts. And a TV show introduced a host who earned 100 million yen a night as a star. They don't care how many women sold their bodies and sacrificed themselves for that host, and the middle-aged men who sacrificed their weekly allowances to those women too.
Meshida.
In 1970, the first host club opened in Kabukicho, and between 1980 to 1990, host clubs became popular among rich middle-aged women who were entrepreneurs, celebrities, and wives of rich men. So, at that time, host clubs were places for rich women. Unfortunately, now host clubs are the place for young dead-ridden women. But what is amazing about them is even though their customers have changed into poor girls, their business has been increasing. Maybe the Japanese tourism industry should learn from them. In 2000, young women started going to host clubs because former hosts now in their 30s and 40s started their own host clubs and targeted to young women. And they hired handsome young men as hosts. And some of them became popular for being charismatic. In addition, the young hosts brought in women who worked in the night entertainment industry. Gradually, host clubs' customers changed from rich middle-aged women to young female night entertainers and young good-looking hosts entertaining them. Female night workers entertain Japanese middle-aged salarymen and then go spend all their money at host clubs. You could say that Japanese middle-aged salaryman's money is all spent on hosts. When the smartphone came on the scene, young hosts began trying to get customers through social media and dating apps. They targeted young women aged between 18 years to 22 years with no ability to pay. As a result, among those young women, host clubs became like Disneyland. They don't realize all the characters are wearing masks to hide their real personalities, and after enjoying spending time there, they'll get a terrible bill. If you want to know more about Hosugurui, I interviewed a Hosugurui woman before. Please check out this video after watching this video.
Meshida.
There is one big reason why the number of young women who are Hosugurui and became night entertainers has increased, because our civil code regarding the age of an adult changed in 2022. Before, 20 years old was the age of adult, but now 18 years old is regarded as an adult in Japan. So now, if you become 18 years old, you can legally sign contract as an independent adult. This civil code is helping young women put themselves in debt. So, host clubs accept women who don't have money. They provide them with expensive services and put them in debt. So, the host can force them to pay later. Then, if they cannot repay it, the host forces them to work in the night industry. Many young female university students who come from the countryside are targeted by them and get stuck in this host club cycle. Before, since adults were regarded as 20 years old and teenagers were protected by law, it was possible to cancel the debt, but now they cannot do it. As a result, nowadays there are many Tachinbo in Kabukicho. A Tachinbo is a female night worker who looks for customers on the street. Most of them are caught in host club hell. The Japanese government changed the adult age to increase the number of people who could vote in the election. As a result, instead of young voters increasing, young Tachinbo increased. And instead of electing politicians, they elect middle-aged men. If you want to know more about Tachinbo, please watch this video.
Meshida.
Hosts do their best to make female customers fall in love with them, and their main target is a menhera joshi or menhera women. Menhera means people who get lonely easily and are mentally unstable. Simply put, women who are not popular among men. Hosts treat those menhera women well and make them fall in love with them and ask them for help, like, I need you, please help me to be a number one host. So the women think, he loves me and needs me, so I have to do my best to support him. Like this, women are domesticated like dairy cows. Although at least dairy cows get fed by their owners, hosts just sell the milk. To be honest, as a middle-aged poor single comedian, I really want to learn from hosts because I always fall for attractive women and I'm pleased to pay for everything and it puts me in debt. I don't need to go to hostess clubs because for me, this real world is like a hostess club. I read an article about the problem of host clubs and it said how hosts deceive women. One of the real stories was a host targeted a young woman and said to that woman, I really love you. I'm planning to open my own bar in a year. So when I open it, let's get married. So until then, please support me. Then he pretended to get engaged to her and signed a marriage contract, although he never filed it. So she believed his words and sacrificed herself and spent a lot of money in his host club for him and tried to get him to be a number one host in that club. She called it real love. We call it brainwashing. And one of the famous ways that hosts exploit a lot of money from their female customers is a champagne tower. Hosts push women to order a champagne tower, which costs between 100,000 yen to 1 million yen. And the host surrounded the woman and treat her like their queen. And some evil host made a woman drunk and ordered it. Imagine if you went to Disneyland and they started the electrical parade. Then they charged you a lot of money to see that. Host clubs may be the most profitable business in Japan. Sorry, it's not a business. It's a rip-off.
Meshida.
In fact, only 30% of hosts earn a lot of money. The other 70% cannot earn enough. Hosts have to start their career as an assistant host and it's very difficult to become popular. If they want to be a success, they have to earn money. So they have to exploit money from female customers. Otherwise, they will be poor forever. As a result, they have to become skilled in brainwashing women. If hosts want to earn a lot of money, they have to deceive their customers, like many political parties. Nowadays, unfortunately, host clubs have been expanding all over Japan, and now host clubs are introduced as part of Japanese culture to foreigners. So, in the near future, Tachinbo or teenage street sex workers might be introduced as part of our culture. And definitely, many foreign men will come to Japan to enjoy our new culture.
飯だ
Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out my Patreon page too. And please give me super thanks. And if you are in Tokyo, please come to my comedy show. So, see you soon. Bye bye.